But we're going to cross to Ruislip because the Prime Minister has been speaking there. It's Uxbridge and Ruislip that, of course, the Tories did hang on to. Let's listen to what he has to say.
Westminster's been acting like the next election's a done deal. The Labour Party's been acting like it's a done deal. The people of Uxbridge just told all of them that it's not. Now, no one expected us to win here, but Steve's victory demonstrates that when confronted with the actual reality of the Labour Party, when there's an actual choice on a matter of substance at stake, people vote Conservative. Great.
Prime Minister, you had two bruising defeats last night, and yes, a narrow win here, but this campaign, we've barely mentioned you or your 5 priorities. It's not really a cause for celebration, is it?
Well, I first of all want to say a massive thank you to all our candidates and hard-working activists. They've been doing a brilliant job over the past few weeks. And look, by-elections, mid-term for an incumbent government are always difficult. They rarely win them. The message I take away is that we've got to double down, stick to our plan and deliver for people. That's what I heard when I was out on the doorsteps, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to work incredibly hard, deliver on our 5 priorities and earn people's trust for the next election.
Great, GB News.
Prime Minister, new Lib Dem MP for Somerton and Frome, Sarah Dyke, talked about the circus of chaos of the Conservative government. How much of the bad results, not in Uxbridge, but elsewhere in the country, the huge swings against you, are the result of the chaos under Boris Johnson and Liz Truss, and how much of this is on you? And after 13 years, aren't people just fed up of the Conservatives?
Look, mid-term by-elections are rarely easy for incumbent governments. These are no different. And look, the reality is the circumstances of these by-elections are far from favourable. It's a reminder to politicians that we need to focus on what matters to people and not be distracted by what's going on in Westminster. And if you just look at what have we been doing over the last couple of weeks, we've been making a major difference to people. The inflation numbers we had just the other day show that our plan is working, easing the burden on the cost of living. We had an announcement of billions of pounds of investment in our auto industry. One of the largest investments in decades, going to create thousands of jobs. We announced a long-term workforce plan for the NHS, welcomed by over 40 NHS stakeholders, so we can train more doctors and nurses here at home, and we passed our Stop the Boats bill, one of the toughest pieces of legislation to ensure that we can stop the boats. That's what we're doing. We're getting on and delivering people, and that's what I'm going to do all the way to the next election.
Okay. Who's next? Sorry. I'll just get you in the shot. Ready? Yeah. Whenever you're ready. Prime Minister, you've held on to the seat here at Uxbridge because of a local issue, not because of a brilliant endorsement of your party. Elsewhere, it looks like people are voting tactically, choosing to vote for whichever candidate is in the best position to beat the Conservative candidate. Are you worried about that? And are we entering the final days of you being in office?
Nobody expected us to win here, but Steve's victory shows that when people are confronted with a real choice, a choice on a matter of substance as they had here, they vote Conservative. That's what the general election is going to be about. It's going to be about actual issues that make a difference to people, and that's what we deliver in the Conservative Party. And look, when we get to that general election, what people are going to see is that I and the government and the party are going to build a brighter future for their children, for their grandchildren, and that future is going to be filled with hope, it's going to be filled with optimism, and it's going to be filled with enormous pride in our country.
So an upbeat Prime Minister Rishi Sunak there answering a queue of correspondents in that cafe there, Tamara being one of them in Ruislip. Tamara, this was the seat that the Tories did hang on to overnight. Rishi Sunak saying that the fact that they did that shows the next general election is not a done deal. He's putting over a very upbeat message.
That's right, and my gosh, the Conservatives are relieved. When Rishi Sunak arrived here at the Rumbling Tom Cafe in South Ruislip, he said to the activists and to the winning candidate, Steve Tuckwell, "Are you pumped?" There were lots of cheers. He said he understood that they had frustrations about the national picture, but he said when it comes to an issue of substance, and he means this emissions scheme for which people here with the oldest and most polluting cars will have to pay £12.50 a day to drive around. He says when it comes to issues like that, people will vote with their feet, they will vote Conservative, and he says the next general election is not around the corner if they stick to their plan, his plan to cut inflation and to ease the cost of living. He says things will be turned around. Now, the Prime Minister acknowledged when I said to him this is not really a cause for celebration because there was quite a decent swing to Labour here. Labour delivered a big victory in North Yorkshire and so did the Lib Dems in the southwest. He acknowledged that the government was mid-term and things could be difficult, but he said the result here showed that with issues that people care about, and you wonder if closer to the election that might be tax issues, then things could be turned around. And I think Labour's inquest is already ongoing as to why they didn't secure victory here.
OK, Tamara, thanks very much indeed. Let's find out what the weather's doing now.